Well, welcome. I hope you had a good meal. I think we had some great conversations I heard happening at the tables. So this is the Meandering Path, and it's a panel for psychology students. And this came about because of many reasons. We've been having conversations in the department about how to do career development better, and also came about because I always am interested in people's stories. As a developmental psychology individual, I think it's really telling to hear how people got to where they are. And when I was your age, I had this belief that everyone had it all figured out all along. You can look at someone in a particular position and forget that on their way there, they were searching and struggling and piecing it together bit by bit by bit. And that's really what tonight's about, is to show you that you're not gonna have it all figured out right away, and maybe you'll never have it all figured out, period. And that's normal, that's part of development. And there's a few things that I wanted to mention to emphasize that and underscore this, that in your 20s, you'll probably have 7 to 8 job changes, which is about 1/3 of the whole job changes you'll have in your lifetime. So the 20s is a major time of change. You'll probably have 3 to 5 careers over the course of your lifetime, on average. And the average job tenure is about 18 months for new graduates. 51% of new graduates change their job within a year or two. So there's a lot of dynamic nature coming before you, and that can either be scary or it can be exciting and something you can embrace. So what we're gonna do tonight is spend about 5 minutes each talking about our paths. How did we get here, and how did we get through the 20s and make decisions? And I think the one thing you'll see is that none of us got there by the straight shot sort of, I know what I'm gonna do and now I'm doing it. It's always a little bit of a developmental path. So we're gonna start with Brian Pfohl, and he's going to tell us about his path. So Brian.
Should I come up there? Or
you're welcome to stay there or come up.
I'll be more visible.
Okay.
Which is important for my ego. Ever since I was a little boy, I wanted to be an AI. So I graduated from college, immediately became an AI, and the rest is history. So just do that. Actually, no, I feel like I need to represent I think I'm the only person up here who does not have a PhD in psychology. Oh, all right. I'm the only person up here who did not go to graduate school in psychology. Yes. I'm the only person up here who cannot spell oh no. So both my parents are psychologists. I was on the road to psychology professordom or psychology therapy. I was a psychology major. I did an honors thesis, which was a 2-year grueling empirical chore, which immediately disillusioned me of the possibility of going on to psychology grad school, so I did not. And at that point, I was like, all right, now what? And so I thankfully was able to get into the .com thing. And there was a company that was hiring. They didn't care what you studied. They were hiring people from good schools who had good GPAs, and they said, we'll teach you the software. And so I got a job there. And that's where my meandering path really started. I did tech support, I did training, and that was great. I traveled all over the world on somebody else's dime, which is awesome. Highly recommended. And then I got tired of that, and so I moved into other realms of software design, and I feel like a lot of those actually played on the fact that I didn't have like a computer science degree. I was designing user interfaces. I was talking to clients like, what do you need for your software to do, and what's the most efficient way for it to do that. So it was this very like people-oriented component of using software and designing software. It turned out it was all really boring business software, but I was using my people skills somehow. And I think the meandering path is that I started in tech support and training. I moved to quality assurance. I moved to development. I moved to managing developers and Q&A. And I was changing jobs like every 18 months or so, like you were saying. And each time it was an improvement. I would be getting more responsibilities, a higher paycheck, more interesting travel, that type of thing. But it was by no means a planned thing. I would just do this, then that company would go out of business. And it's like, all right, here's 20 of us that just got laid off. Anybody know anybody? And then you'd find something. I waited tables a little bit during my slower periods there. So as you may have noticed, I'm no longer a software coder for corporate America. That road sort of burned out on me after about 8 years of doing that, and I decided I was getting decent pay. I wasn't getting, the big .com bucks, but decent stuff. But I had no time to enjoy my life. It was 50 weeks a year, 2 weeks vacation. If you get sick, there's your vacation, so you can't see your family over Christmas. And the work was stressful, and so I decided I would rather compromise that paycheck for a lifestyle choice. So I'm not getting paid what I used to get paid, but I have 2 months off in the summer. I love working with you guys. My schedule is much more flexible, and so I don't have that sort of stress that I had in the corporate world. So I want to emphasize to you that it is not all about the money, and it is not all about the high prestige jobs. If you are making enough to be happy, then making more is not going to make you any happier. So find a career that allows you to live the lifestyle you want to live. Once you figure that out, I still do theater, which it really is awesome. And I would not be able to do any of those sort of non-career things in my life if I were doing the corporate gig too. So, is that my 5 minutes?
No, I don't know.
No. So, go team. And yeah, but not that the psych grad school is bad, as I'm sure we're about to hear.